Runescape and old school Runescape are two sides to the same coin, some people say. Though in reality, it's more of a diverging timeline sort of situation where the games split at a single point in time and are now two different realities. Runescape kept evolving, and its lore, world, and mechanics have continued advancing at a fast pace. Old school Runescape, however, stayed true to the nostalgic charm of the game, where its gameplay has remained nearly the same since its divergence, and the world has evolved down a different path. Whether you find one version of the game better than the other is an opinion, and no side is more correct than the other. As someone who's been playing since RuneScape Classic, I personally think both versions of the game are just, well, RuneScape. I think both games are good games and can coexist, and the communities from both should do what they can to help both games flourish. There is no reason for discourse between the two games, and I actively encourage players to play both games. And that is what I'm going to start doing. Though old school RuneScape has always appealed to me as a game, I never wanted to restart my progress when the game split. But with friends in both of these games' timelines, it's time for me to try going from RuneScape to RuneScape, experiencing the alternate timeline. Hello again everyone, Kamori here, and welcome back to RuneScape, this time for episode 25. Quite the milestone number here, as well as kind of a special one in a sense that it is going to be the last one on my current computer. I am in the process of building a new one, and because of that, I haven't exactly had a ton of time to play, but I'll talk more about that later. So let's get into it. Starting off, gotta get that farming in, the 3 big mahogany trees, and then there is a 4th one as well that I've been doing on Varlamore, but the 3 of them here, click, 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 so much EXP, it never gets old. Level 76 farming coming in here as well. And to continue on with the farming grind, we do have another Hespori to fight. We're going to keep the entire one in this time as well. I don't think I do anything differently between previous fights and this one, and I don't think I've leveled up a significant amount, but this kind of ends up being a faster kill by a decent margin. My weapons aren't different, not using any different gear. I don't know if it's really just that much RNG on the specs when the DDS or what. Pretty fun fight though, but it hits so hard. There's so many times where I'm like, maybe I should be depositing all of my farming and fletching material just because sometimes I need that extra food. I didn't end up buying sunlight antelopes for food. 21 healing per slot, a little bit better than the swordfish. Click, 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 click. I got comboed here where I was trying to fight the flowers and then it rooted me as well. I think if you don't break the root, is that when he can hit up to a 40 or something insane? I don't know if that's what's considered his special attack, but I think that would have to be it. If you don't click and break free fast enough, then he can hit super hard, but he attacks with magic and range. Wearing full rune, praying protect from mage, he can hit through the prayer, and I feel like he does all the time, even with protection from magic. And full rune, granted that's not the tankiest armor, it is only level 40 gear and everything like that. He just non-stop chip damage, and there's 13 damage in one hit, holy. Thankfully I'm also hitting quite hard back. One more rotation of flowers, keeping an eye on my health because, wow, every hit. I almost wonder if it's worth learning to pray flick it and switch between protect from range and magic. I don't know how much effort to reward that would be, but there's definitely a concern of dying at this fight. And I believe if you die at Hespori, you don't get a gravestone. I think you have to pay the guy out front for it, but there we go. Nice little 13 to end it. New record at 222. My record before this was 306. That's a 40-second improvement. Not sure how. We get another collection log. Unfortunately, it's just an Addis seed. Go to plant the next Hesporian. Forgot the seed dibber. Oh, well. Again, no idea what the new seeds do. I know what the white lily one is, but I have those all planted already, so I don't care for that one, but still looking for that bottomless compost bucket. Here we go. The first Konar task. Dagonoths on Water Birth Island. Oof, not exactly a great task. Is this the first Konar task, or did I get a Brimhaven? I can't remember if I got a different task or not. I feel like I've killed so many Slayer tasks that are all just demons lately. I don't remember if any of them are Konar tasks or not. Waterbirth Island, haven't been here, but this is of course where all the Dagonoth Kings and everything are. A bit of an unfortunate task because the Dagonoths on Waterbirth Island are quite a bit stronger than they are elsewhere in like the catacombs or under the lighthouse or anything like that. But I do later on find out that you can fight the Dagonoth spawns by hatching the eggs, and so I basically do that for the majority of it. We get the Desolate Isle and the monsters below music tracks though, just kind of showing off that I indeed haven't been here before. But the Dagonoths are decent EXP when you're kind of a higher level. And the ones under the lighthouse, you can AFK them even, but for the gear that I have and the levels that I have, they're not the best. I think it ended up being like 6 or like 9,000 Slayer EXP an hour, which honestly sounds kind of bad, but it's better than nothing. 62 strength coming in though. Slowly working on getting that up to 65, and then I'll switch over to attack. 54 Slayer popping in as well. Don't unlock anything there, at least I don't believe so. I did get attacked and that canceled me out, so I couldn't see the pop-ups or anything, but every now and then I was killing a rock crab and I kept getting part of an achievement. Don't know what that achievement is to finish it, but I should have just looked it up. Task complete though. Ended up killing 138. I believe I was using expeditious bracelets though, because a lot of these tasks, not great. I got 2 easy clues during the task, so we'll go ahead and get those opened. Nothing on the first one. And nothing on the second one. Not too surprised. Easy clues, not the greatest. Coming back for another task though. Can we get something better? Oh man, I am so tired of greater demon tasks. There has to be other Slayer monsters on these Slayer Masters task lists. Like, my Slayer level's not super high, so I don't have a ton of creatures unlocked, but come on. At least it's down here in a dungeon I've never been into before, so it wasn't a terrible experience, but the catacombs would have been way nicer because of the Necreal money making that you can do right below it. But expeditious bracelets popped on, finding my way to the greater demons. I think canceling tasks with Konar to like put a task on your cancel list with the new Slayer update where each Slayer Master has their own cancel list. I believe that's an old school and not RuneScape 3. I think it costs like 80 points to cancel a task or to block a task, and that's kind of a lot. I don't exactly have a use for Slayer points right now. I think the first thing I'm going to go for now that I have the like superior creatures unlocked is probably making the Slayer helm. I do believe that's like the second thing that you go for, but we'll have to figure it out. 63 strength sliding in there. No pop-up because I am prayer flicking and in the middle of combat. The drops down here seemed significantly worse than they did even in the Brimhaven dungeon. 55 Slayer though, that's a pretty iconic level though. That's the broad ammunition and leaf-bladed weapons, the Slayer staff, which used to be such a cool way of fighting the Barrows brothers, and we can fight Turoths. Honestly, any Slayer creature would be a better task. Thankfully, we got through this one though. 35 tasks complete. The 18 Slayer points per Konar task is quite nice. Still haven't gotten a Brimstone key yet between the Dagonoth task and this one. So maybe we can get a little bit luckier on our third task of the day. Alright, give me something good. Okay, there's 2 Slayer monsters in this game apparently. There's greater demons and there's Dagonoths. They're just in different locations. Honestly though, I don't quite understand, even when I was using like Chaeldar and stuff, why am I only getting Greater Demons and Dagonoths as my Slayer task. At least I got them in the Catacombs, which is really nice. 1 for the prayer. 64 strength coming in there. Just trying to kill a few so I can hop worlds so I'm not crashing this guy. The prayer restore when you bury bones down here is quite nice. And then you do have access to the totem drops and the ancient shards. Of course, I don't get anything. I don't get a brimstone key nor any of the catacomb drops. But that's just kind of what it is. Expeditious bracelets on again. I kind of just want to keep using them anytime the task doesn't have any like worthwhile drops on the drop list. Down here, I technically could have avoided them to try to get some ancient shards or totem pieces. 63 HP coming in down there as well. Again, no pop-up because of the combat and everything. I also didn't know that Dagonoths had the ensouled heads, so that was actually kind of cool. I've been getting quite a lot of these between the Greater Demons and the Dagonoths. 36 tasks completed, 18 more points, but wow, I am kind of annoyed at Slayer at the moment because I keep getting just the same 2 tasks, and I'm really trying to just not cancel or skip anything. Speaking of skipping though, here's Skippy, close enough. If I could click on him, dude's dodging me. Gonna do a very, important lore-based quest here, very difficult. Very long, Grandmaster difficulty. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's Skippy and the Mogres. No, honestly, it's I'm surprised this even counts as a side quest. This almost just feels like a random event. Like, I'm pretty sure like the Molly random event or the Maze random event would probably take more time, or like the gravestone or the grave digging one. Speaking of, what is your guys' favorite and least favorite random events? I'm kind of assuming that the Maze random event is probably one of the favorites, or like the school exam one for the EXP tome. And I think the Molly one with like the crane game is probably one of the worst, or the graveyard one just because it takes so long. Though I hear that one is quite nice for like Iron Men and stuff because you do have access to the bank. And I guess if you were like a 1 chunk or something like that, that could be pretty useful, but you can't really plan around that. But Skippy, super drunk, basically slurring at you, saying he's being attacked by stuff and it's dangerous out in the water, the mud skippers bit him and everything like that. You dump some water on him, and he's like, why would you do that? I'm cold. Warm me up. Can you bring me some tea? You bring him some hot nettle tea. And he's like, oh, I feel good, but I got a headache. I'm hungover. I can't remember anything. Bring me hangover cure, which is like chocolate milk again. And you bring him some of that, and he's like, oh, okay, thank God. Yeah, it turns out there's mogres in the water, which are just ogres that basically swim all day or live underwater. They hunt mud skippers by wearing like their fins and their hat, and they like blend in with them until they can get close, and then they kill them. And he was throwing fishing explosives into the water, and it was upsetting the mogres, and the mogres attacked him. And so you do this, and you learn how to fight the mogres. That is the entire point of doing this thing, is to learn how to fight mogres. And of course, I'm gonna fight some mogres, They have 2 pretty important pieces of fashionscape, particularly the flippers. But I think they are the rarer drop rate of the 2. I think the flippers are a 1 in 64, and then the hat is only like a 1 in 25 or something like that. But you come down here to Mud Skipper Point. Really cool that there's a fairy ring down here, for all the heavy grinding that you're going to be doing here. And then you use a fishing explosive that you buy from Slayer Masters on one of the like fishing spots down here. You throw it in, and a mogre shows up. Smash, stupid human. Look how I embarrassed. Look at those specs. I 2-specced that mogre. I just embarrassed him in front of his whole squad. That honestly felt really good. Hitting like a 31 with the DDS, no prayer or anything. Wow. I don't know if these guys have like negative armor or something like that, but that was probably my best DDS spec so far. And then of course, it's all downhill from there. I never hit that high again, but I did bring 5 of them. I am just going to show all 5 of the kills just to see if we can get the RNG on the flippers or something. I don't know if either of them are used for anything. You do get the medium Falador task for killing one to begin with. There might be like a clue scroll or something that needs the flippers. I'm not too sure, to be honest. I just know this is like the only place to get them, and so at some point I may have to come back here and farm them, but they're probably just buyable on the GE. But this is kind of one of those fun things where I don't mind like doing this grind if it ends up being something that I need at some point. 3 down, 4th one popping up. You would kind of think that they would like recognize that every Mogre that goes up on land is dying, and then choose maybe not to go up on land themselves, but maybe not the most intelligent of races. 1 more, and apparently I'm too close to the water, so I back up a little bit. Apparently I'm still too close to the water. How has that not been an issue so far? There we go, though. Throw 1 more in. Human hit me on the head. Yeah, I'm going to. Good prediction there, Mogre. You might be the smart one, but yeah. 4 down, let's make it 5. We get some raw fish, we got a wild blood seed, no idea what that is to be honest. Fishing bait, nothing super useful, and another raw fish. So 5 kills there, didn't get anything, a little unlucky, but at the same time, not too important. While we're thinking of fishing items though, I'm gonna go ahead and work on some fishing again. I am still working on the goal of getting everything base 45, and I do want to get all of my lower stats above construction again. I do have quite a few that are at 40, and then my construction is at 42. So fishing, cooking, mining, and smithing, I believe, are all lower. So they are things I need to slowly start working on. 41 fishing coming in, just so I can keep the Tears of Guthix going into construction. I don't know if that's the best idea. If you guys have a better idea of what I should be keeping as my lowest stat, I like runecrafting and I like agility, so I don't really want those to be the stats that I boost, just because I don't mind training either of those skills. Mining potentially could be a good one, but I do want to unlock the calcified rocks and start getting the blessed bone shards or whatever it is. I think that's probably just a better way of training that, whereas construction is just it's just a money sink for the most part. There's no profitable way of training it, really, though I do want to try some mahogany homes, potentially get the outfit. 42 and 43 fishing coming in here, though, and of course, after you fish all the fish, you turn around, and you gotta start cooking the fish. I keep using the Lumbridge range because I think you get like a +2 invisible boost to your cooking. I know the Hosidius kitchen gives you the same or a better bonus, but you have to do the easy area tasks on Kurend to be able to use the range in the Hosidius kitchen, and I haven't gotten through that yet. That's kind of something I'm kind of waiting for my friend to be able to do, and then we can do them together, just because that's really new content to me, and it's kind of like a out of sight, out of mind thing that a lot of people don't remember is the area tasks, and so I want to make sure they're on top of that. 61, I wish. 41 cooking coming in here, though. Only burned 1 fish. I was burning about 1 fish every inventory, sometimes none, so we're getting up there. 42 cooking as well. Can make fried onions and chocolate bombs. Without pictures or knowledge of what those are, you would not think fried onions would take that high of a level, and what is a chocolate bomb? But there we go, level 43 cooking. Getting the raw salmon in, burn these way more often. I can fish and cook lobsters, but they're way slower. But unfortunately, that's actually where I'm going to go ahead and call it an episode for today. Quite a short one, but as I was saying earlier, I am in the process of building a new PC, and I'd already started recording clips for this episode, and I'm not too sure if or how I'm going to transfer all of my files over to the other computer, and so I figured, because I'd already started, let me just get a couple more clips and get this episode uploaded and ready, so if there are any complications with building the new PC or with files transferring back and forth, I'm not losing a bunch of stuff, because I am going to be completely removing my old PC, so it won't be set up to access and continue working on and things like that. So it was a little bit lacking in content, but I am quite excited about having a new PC, just kind of future-proofing myself because the whole PC market is terrible right now. But you know, with a new PC, is that, you know, am I going to have way higher quality videos and stuff? No, probably not. They're probably going to be exactly the same. Is there going to be more content? Also, probably not, but We'll see how things go. Either way, thank you guys all very much for watching so far. I do hope you guys are enjoying it. Thank you for the comments and everything too. There's a lot of people talking, giving opinions. It means a lot to me. This is really fun, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. And until next time, take care. Peace.